Okay, good day. Let me say good day, guys. Welcome to another edition of Thursday Message by Debo Onafowora, your foremost agribusiness coach. How did the day go? I'm sure you had a wonderful day, or your day is still on, whatever it is. Okay, how was last week message? Trust you picked one or two things and you got value from it. So today I quickly want to talk to you about a subject I captioned agribusiness. Agribusiness. Quite a number of people have asked me, they said, what's the difference between agribusiness and agriculture? Let me say this. Agribusiness simply means the business of agriculture. A lot of people are practicing agriculture and that's why they are poor. Agriculture cannot make you rich. It is agribusiness that makes rich. If you don't add business to your practice of agriculture, you remain poor. And that's what has reflected in the agro industry in Africa, especially over the past 50 or more decades. Sometimes in the early 80s in Nigeria, we got it right. Even though we added a little business, but yet what we were still doing is we were exporting our raw material. We built universities like Ahmadu Bello University, Obafemi Awolowo University, University of Ibadan, I think BUK, Bayero University, Kano. We built some of this infrastructure, the Cocoa House, the airport hotel, and all sorts on agro commodities. Now just imagine if our forefather had a better understanding of agribusiness. They would have built 4 times what they built with the same produce. We focus on growing raw materials, while the West and others focus on taking our raw material and processing it. Until you start to practice agribusiness, you will not think of processing. Let me give you this simple analysis. Sometimes in 2016, Cabri, Nestle, 2 other companies bought cocoa beans worth $4 billion from Africa. These cocoa beans was taken to their countries. They shipped it, and they spent about $6 billion to process and package these cocoa beans. At the end of their calendar year, they did a turnover of over 60 billion USD. The cocoa beans that they bought for $4 billion, they spent 6 billion. So all in all, 10 billion to make 60 billion. So a turnover of over 50 billion US. Can you imagine? Yet Africa was celebrating the fact that they sold cocoa beans worth $4 billion. What is $4 billion? When you can make 50 billion US, is that not a shame? Do you know the size of a country like Nigeria? Incidentally, Nigeria has the largest arable land in the entire world, 84 million hectares of arable land. One of the big states in Nigeria, Niger State precisely, has it's about 47 square kilometer in size. The Dutch, that's Holland, it's about 41 square kilometer in size. Do you know last year, 2020, Holland did over 100 billion US in agro commodity export? That's the income they made from agriculture, over $100 billion. A country that does not have the kind of arable land that we have, a country that does not have the kind of raw material that we produce and grow in Nigeria, making over $100 billion. Nigeria is an oil economy. In 2020, do you know Nigeria did not make over $25 billion from oil? With all our noise. Yet Holland made over $100 billion US from agriculture. Why? Because they added business to it. They bought raw materials from countries like Nigeria, from Ghana, from Cote d'Ivoire, and all sorts of countries, shipped it to their country, worked on it, then ship it back. Will you be surprised that Walmart, ShopRite, Woodward, many of these companies actually make more money from agriculture than Nigeria as a country? In 1 year, your dear country, Nigeria, does not make up to $2 billion from agriculture because we focus on raw material. Is that not a big shame? Why? We are practicing agriculture when the rest of the world is focusing on agribusiness. What am I saying? If agriculture or agricultural industry, if it will bring any income, if it will bring any major change to Africa, especially Nigeria, we need to focus on business of agriculture. We need to think agribusiness. We need to think agribusiness. It's high time we start focusing on that. You understand what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. Nigeria plants or produces about 2 million metric ton of tomato every year. 2 million every year. Even though we only get about 900,000 metric ton to fork. That's what we find out. Finally, we get to consume. The rest is wasted through post-harvest loss and what have you. But this 2 million metric ton of tomato is actually grown on about 600,000 hectares of land. While China, the number one producer of tomato in the world, China produces about 35 million metric ton of tomato every single year. And this they do on about 300,000 hectares of land. Why? Because they are doing agribusiness. One, they add technology to it. Secondly, they don't waste their produce. They process it, they package it, they ship it out. Is that not shame? Is that not shameful? Let me shock you again. Nigeria is the world's largest producer of cassava. But do you know that Nigeria is not on the world map of starch, of high quality cassava flour? We are not on the world map. We are not on the world map of ethanol. We are not. Is that not shameful? Is that not sad? Yet many of this products are actually made from cassava. You know why that? Because more than 90% of the cassava we actually produce is being consumed locally. We export less than 10% of our cassava. We export less than 10% of our cassava. Every single tablet that you have taken or you will take has a measure of cassava in it. What about yam? 70% of the world yam production. But we are not on the world map of yam exportation. Why? Because we are not focusing or we are not doing the business of agriculture. So in this short message, what am I saying? Let's think about business. Let's think about business. Let's add business to agriculture. Let's not just say we are practicing agriculture. Let's not just say we want to focus on agriculture. You as an individual, you want to come into agriculture, don't just come to practice agriculture. Think of agribusiness. You don't have to grow crop to be in agribusiness. Yes, I'm telling you that. Think of the value chain, transportation, processing, packaging. Think of it. These areas will give you a lot of money. If anybody wants to create any major change or save this industry or create a big opportunity in this agro industry, I want to tell you that you need to think business. Let's think agribusiness so that we can bring about a major turnaround. That's what I'm doing, that's what I'm preaching, and that's what I expect you to do. So see you next week when I come again with the Thursday message from Debo, Onafowora. Thank you very much. I want you to think about what I've said. Business of agriculture instead of just the practice of agriculture. Take care of yourself. See you next week.